There is no victor. There is only doom.
What's up, Knights, and welcome to the table. Today's video is going to be all about the King of Latveria himself, Dr. Doom. Specifically, how powerful he is and where he ranks among the Marvel elite. But before we silver surf our way into today's topic, be sure to leave us a like, subscribe, and ding the bell so you do not miss out on any future content. Also, be sure to check us out on our other social media platforms. Links in the description below for all of those. Now, the topic of Dr. Doom is as vast as it is interesting, and we simply don't have the time to cover all things Doom here, but I wanted to cover his abilities and discuss where I think he'll rank in the MCU when he finally does arrive. Me and just about every other nerd out there feels confident that Dr. Doom will be introduced into the MCU at some point in the near future. It makes a lot of sense given his ties to Wakanda, the Fantastic Four, and the fact that he is such an iconic villain. I'm going to start by going over some of Doom's feats in the comics, and then I'll discuss some of the specifics of his powers and abilities, and lastly, I'll explain how powerful he will be in the MCU. And if you stay to the end, I'll tell you exactly when the character of Dr. Doom will be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion. Dr. Victor Von Doom is incredibly powerful. He has everything needed to be a Thanos level threat, or even worse. Let's start with some of his most notable moments in comics. Now, I'm going to be pulling from multiple storylines and versions of Doom to paint a picture of his power, but the truth is I doubt we will see Emperor or God Doom or anything that crazy in the MCU. That version is simply just too OP for now. First up is the time Doom performed brain surgery on the Hulk using a chainsaw with an adamantium blade. Yes, you heard that correctly. The man performed brain surgery with a chainsaw. Feel free to check it out for yourself in Jason Aaron's The Incredible Hulk, Hulk vs. Banner, Chapter 2, There Will Be Doom. In fact, the Hulk vs. Banner is a great run for any Hulk fans out there. So far, all live action adaptations of Doom have failed to mention his magical prowess. This is quite a shame because Doom isn't just some Slytherin reject, but is a powerful mage. He once trained under Doctor Strange and was even almost given the title of Sorcerer Supreme, only losing out to Doctor Strange himself. Doom has traded blows with Sentry, took a direct blast from an Infinity Gauntlet wielding Thanos. He once took on the X-Men, Avengers, and Fantastic Four at the same time and didn't die. That's insane. Dr. Doom is oftentimes viewed as a Fantastic Four only villain, but that's just simply not true. There is the time he ripped Thanos' spine right out of his body as well, or the time in Secret Wars issue 2 by Jim Shooter that he reprogrammed Ultron to be completely subservient to him. Jim Shooter's Secret Wars run is amazing. It's from the mid-80s, but it holds up really well in my opinion. I honestly could go on and on. I mean, the Tin Man with a Plan has been around Marvel Comics since he was first introduced in the Fantastic Four issue 5 in 1962, but I'll leave you with one last example before I move on to the next segment. In the Hulk vs. Banner run, after the brain surgery is complete, Doom and Hulk get into a scuffle, and Doom defeats him, and it's honestly not even close. I know Hulk's strength can vary heavily based on how angry he is, however, he's still one of the strongest Avengers of all time. Doom beats him swiftly and leaves him lying on the ground with this quote.
"Now that that's settled, I suggest you leave my presence and never return, or I promise you, Hulk, I will do far worse things than simply cut open your skull with a chainsaw and fiddle with what's left of your brain. Do let me know when the funeral will be. I would not dream of missing it."
Straight up gangster. This dude is a savage. Alright, let's get into what Doom brings to the table in a fight. First and foremost is his intellect. Victor has a genius level of intellect. He has knowledge of all types of science, magic, and is a brilliant strategist. His intellect even rivals that of Mr. Fantastic, who is known as the Jim Halpert. I mean, the smartest man in the world. Yes, that's what I mean. Doom's brains may actually be his greatest asset as a supervillain. Let's talk about some of those magical powers I've been mentioning. Doom has been known to be able to fire off magical blasts, summon creatures, create portals, time and dimension travel, healing, telekinesis, and that's just to name a few. As far as his physical attributes, this is where Victor is the weakest. He's well versed in hand-to-hand combat, but underneath the suit of armor is just a man. Without his suit and magic, He's just a man who took some kung fu lessons. But that brings me to his next and most important ability. That is his suit. Much like Iron Man, Doom has had many different suits over the years, but for the most part, they have all had the same basic features: enhanced strength and durability, force fields, jetpacks or other means of flight, energy blasts, infrared vision, different types of sensors to analyze and warn of possible threats. Simply put, he's got some serious gadgets. I've honestly probably mentioned about 25% of all the different things we've seen the suit of Dr. Doom be capable of, but I wanted to highlight two specific suit abilities that I think are the best two abilities. First is the image projector. The image projector allowed Doom to create an image of himself that was near indecipherable from the real Doom. This image could talk, fight, use Doom's suit's abilities. For those that are familiar with the shadow clone jutsu from Naruto, you know this ability to copy one's self and send that copy into the fray is an extremely powerful ability. Heck, Naruto does it in literally every fight. Much like a shadow clone though, Doom's image is not as strong or as durable as he is, but that doesn't take away from how OP the image projector is. The next and final suitability I want to touch on has to be the strongest one. Doom is capable of all kinds of energy and ability absorption. So on top of everything else we've covered here today, Dr. Doom is capable of taking other people's powers and using them. He does this in the original Secret Wars by taking the Beyonder's power, but it proves to be too much for him and Beyonder gets the power back. But eventually, with the help of Molecule Man and Doctor Strange, he was able to take the Beyonder's power again and keep it this time many years later. This is when we get God Emperor Doom and he rips Thanos' spine out. Doom is like a mixture of Iron Man and Doctor Strange. Another mainstay of Dr. Doom is his use of the Doombots. Doombots have taken many different forms over the years, but the general premise has remained the same. Automated bots that follow the commands of their master and sometimes have pulled off convincing impersonations of Doomy himself. Doom seems to have a never-ending supply of these pests and oftentimes uses them to either overwhelm enemies with numbers or use them for mischievous trickery. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the real MVPs. Now, I want to discuss exactly where I think Marvel will introduce Doom, how strong he will be in the MCU, and how long I think he will stick around. The best place to introduce Victor Von Doom is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We recently got our first look at the highly anticipated film, and it appears that Namor and Atlantis will wage war on Wakanda. Interestingly enough, Doom himself went after Wakanda in the Doom War saga in the Black Panther comics by Jonathan Maberry. In the comics, Doom is after the vibranium that the Wakandans are hoarding to use for science and stuff. Actually, he wants to harness the mystical power of vibranium, which he succeeds in doing. Absolutely terrifying. I don't think that this is the route Marvel will take. It would be clever for them to pose Namor as the main villain, but have it actually be Doom. But Namor deserves more respect as a character than to be completely upstaged. Besides, Marvel doesn't want a repeat of the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Victor Von Doom is a political figure and leader of Latveria. It would make sense for him to pose as a political ally to Wakanda in their time of need, presenting himself as a friend and ultimately gaining some trust. Then in true Doom fashion, he'll grab some vibranium when no one is looking and use it for his suit. This will give us a small introduction to Victor as a character, so that he can fully be fleshed out in other films in the future. As I stated earlier, Doom has crossed paths with just about every Marvel character, so he wouldn't really be out of place with any of them. As far as powers go, I think Marvel has an opportunity to take a villain on a Thor-like journey as we watch him grow in power and eventually become a Secret Wars level threat. A villain so powerful that MCU will need even more than what we saw in the Infinity Saga to take him down. The truth is, Marvel can't keep killing every major villain off or turning them good. Eventually, we need a big bad to hang around for a while, and Doomy is the perfect candidate. Thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so you don't miss out on any of our future content. I'll leave you with this quote from Dr. Doom.
King of space, master of the sun, you claim such vast domains. Is it to balance your small souls? Could I not lay claim to the light in the void if I wished it? Have I not earned such titles? I, who have mastered all arts, all sciences, all secrets, whose technology and magic cross the stars as easily as they scramble an alpha telepath's mind? Who would dare say I have not earned the right? Yet I am king of a simple nation on a simple planet, a beloved garden tended by iron hands. And the only title I have ever claimed is Doctor.